What does Donald Trump want? What does America want?
From Muslims. They want to, what is the word? Neuter Islam? Yeah, you can say cultural. So they want to stick to like a more
Well, I'll tell you the real truth, which is that actually they don't have a problem with Islam. Dun, dun,
what?
dun. You can find videos of Donald Trump, Barack Obama, John McCain, and they will praise Islam and they'll say it's a religion of peace and it's misunderstood and the extremists have hijacked it. And guess what, guys? We welcome American Muslims, and American Muslims are just as American as everybody else. But then they say, and you'll find the same individuals who praise Islam, they'll say, oh, but Islamism is a problem. Islamism, this idea, this extreme political idea that the world needs to run by Sharia. This idea that, you know, we need to go back to 7th century. This is something Muslims don't believe. This is something that's extreme.
Do you think?
So the point is, like, what they've done for the viewer, obviously they're not pro-Islam. Right? I just kind of said that because this is what you hear. This is the impression you would get. What they've done is this nice sleight of hand trick where, like, this is Islam and this is like some weird concoction called liberal Islam or American Islam or whatever you want to call it. And they've kind of done this like switcheroo. And what they call Islam is not Islam. It's like some kooky liberal,
like a watered down.
Well, it's liberalism with Islamic features.
Okay.
Islam goes against the mainstream legal morality that we understand from the West. So if you're a Muslim and all your opinions about the world, that America has no problem with it, that, you know, it's like you're just accepted by it, and it's really just you're believing in some kind of opinion within the Overton window of America, then you have to question, do I really believe in Islam? This deen that was revealed to the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam 1400 years ago. Do you really believe that deen, or do you believe in the deen of the West, which is capitalism, liberalism, secularism, feminism, democracy? Like this is the discussion that needs to be had. And then what they do is they made up this term called Islamism, and they direct their attacks on that. So it's perceived that they're not attacking Islam. But what they call Islamism is really just Islam. If you're talking about Islam, which is a political ideology, oh, Islam's a religion, but Islamism is a political ideology. Well, Islam is a political ideology. So you're just kind of doing some linguistic mumbo jumbo as a way to attack Islam without angering Muslims. It's very sophisticated, right? Yeah. It's pretty genius.
Yeah, I mean, people like Muslims nowadays, especially in the West, they just want to be in their own bubble and live life and live, you know, chase the comfort and ease. And then they want to leave the rest to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They want to say, yeah, Allah do this, yeah, Allah do that.
It's hard to be American and Muslim or Canadian and Muslim, because to be American, what does that mean? America was founded upon certain ideas. America
Freedom,
was founded
equality.
Like this kind of constitutionalism of liberalism and secularism. So there's specific philosophies that the founding fathers had.
Yeah, what's wrong with these ideas? Like, why is America's obviously threatened for a reason? They feel like Islam is, because there's obviously all these talks. We've unpacked some of them before. There are these talks about Sharia in the States and the what's it called, the epic city, and Muslims are taking over.
Well, that's Islamophobia.
And they've been actually addressing some of these da'is. They've been putting up their videos criticizing how Muslims are here in America to do da'wah. And what does da'wah mean? To convert people. So they feel threatened by the fact that a lot of people are leaving atheism and Christianity and going to Islam. I just want to ask you, what does it mean? Like, Islam is against freedom?
No, depends on what we mean by the word freedom. If freedom means the right to do whatever you want to do, then nobody believes in that.
What?
No. Do I have the right, if I want to kill you, do I have the right to do that?
No, but you're impeding on my
So we believe in the West, what the West does, or what liberalism does. Liberalism sets freedom as the ultimate value. Your right to do whatever it is that you want to do, and then it starts to draw lines. Okay, that's not how a Muslim thinks. Right? A Muslim places something else as most sacred, which is the will of the divine. What does God want from us? Pleasing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the ultimate good for a Muslim, by which all behavior and law is measured. Therefore, that's why the law of Islam is whatever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala legislates. We don't look at the world from that lens. This is a specific lens, this lens of freedoms and encroachments on freedoms, and progress of a society is on the basis of how much freedom there is. This is the liberal ideology, because every ideology, Nasr, there's a specific lens by which they view the whole world. Communism, for example, their whole thing is about class struggle, the freedom of the working class. Or even when I just explain them, I use the word freedom. I use the Western liberal term.
Yeah.
They're really about the equality of the classes.
Yeah.
Communism is a very egalitarian ideology.
Yeah.
So they see the whole world, and the source of all evil is what? It's the exploitation of the proletariat by the bourgeoisie, by the elites. We don't view the world from that lens either, even though there could be truth to this lens, truth to that lens in some specific areas. What we view the world is through a different lens. Okay, so you might ask me, where does freedom fall in this lens? If you looked at this liberal idea of freedom from the Islamic lens, what would you see? Right? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, I mean, like, in reality, it's, people think that there's this freedom that they're getting by doing whatever they want, but your freedom will always be restricted. Is what you're saying.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm not even saying that. I'm saying that just to look at the world through the lens of maximizing freedom, Islam doesn't do that. Let's say for the sake of argument that the West is not hypocritical and that they do sincerely and somewhat effectively maximize the freedom of the individual. Let's say that.
Okay.
I don't even think it's that unfair of a supposition.
Okay.
That they are maximizing the freedom. Is that the best thing though?
For us?
For a human being?
Well,
why is that the best thing?
If I worship myself and I want to do what I want, then
is that the best thing? This is the question. Like the people associate being able to do more with better, or having more freedoms with better.
That's a good point.
True? Why is that true? Like, first of all, other people having more freedoms might be bad news for you, and also you having more freedom might also be bad news for yourself. What Islam does, and it does restrict many freedoms that liberalism would otherwise grant you. It protects you from yourself
and from others.
It protects society from you and you from society.
Yeah.
It unlocks the best in you. And that's not something that you achieve by just opening up a human being to do whatever he wants. We see what happens. Just look at the streets of America. Everybody dosed up on opioids. And you will see what people decide to do when you give them the freedom to do whatever they want.
Yeah. It goes down the wrong path.
It goes down the toilet.
Yeah. You know what's interesting is that because oftentimes people's mentality is, I would not want somebody else to dictate what I do with my life. I never want somebody else to have authority over me.
Yeah.
That's why they have a problem with religion.
This is self-worship.
Yeah, put all religion aside, because oftentimes people look at religion as it's another man telling me what to do.
Yeah. But
in reality, when they put Islam, I put all other religions aside. I'm not talking about any other religion, because in reality, all other religions is man telling you what to do. They just, they obviously corrupted the books and everything. But Islam itself is the claim that God, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, is the only one who has the right to tell you how to live your life and dictate that. And he is not a man.
Yeah.
Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not a man. He's not a human being, is free from deficiency, is all knowledgeable, is all wise, and he's the one who created us, who knows us best, right? Has no bias.
Their problem isn't even with men in authority. Their problem is just authority, period.
No, but it stems from men. That's what I'm trying to say.
No, but what I'm saying is that if you can get them past the man thing, they're still going to have a problem with authority, because guess what? Even God, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he places men in authority. Your father, you have to obey your father. Woman,
there's structure.
Your husband.
There's structure.
Everybody, you have to obey your Khalifa. Like, these people have delegated authority from a perspective.
Yeah.
In the sense that, well, they don't have unrestricted authority, because if they say something that contradicts your obedience to God, obedience is always to God first.
Yeah.
But hey, like, Islam actually sets up this system in which you have to get over yourself and obey somebody else.
But it's understandable. Their fears are understandable from a trauma perspective, because there's a lot of trauma. Well, obviously you're a man, so it's different, right?
Well, let's talk about.
I'm thinking of women. We'll go back on track in a moment. Oftentimes people will equate religion or Islam with man having authority over them, another person. But what they end up doing by worshiping themselves or taking these freedoms, following that worldview, you are taking man as authority over you. Because at the end of the day, you don't have full liberty. You don't have full freedom. Man will dictate what you do. Like, the government is going to place restrictions on certain things, right? Ideologies also place certain restrictions, right? They follow certain principles. And if you follow yourself, you're doing the same thing. But by following Islam, you're removing anyone from that equation.
You're right. But at the same time, let's assume there's no other men in charge of you. You're still a slave to your desires. Because at the end of the day, the human being has to make decisions based on something. Okay, let's say you don't follow any man, you don't need no man, and you don't need no whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, if you're making decisions based on your own desires, here's a chair at the nightclub and here's a curbside on the street for you to indulge in your addiction.
Yeah.
You're a slave to your own desires.
Yeah.
And like you said, Islam frees you from subjugation from any human being, including yourself. You're fully just, okay, God, whatever it is that you revealed, I'm going to live that, even if that's against myself, even if that's against my husband, even if that's against my father, even if that's against my king.
Yeah, 100%. People often think that they are following their own whims, but in reality, we are victims of greater manipulation because society is manipulating things with social media and propaganda and education and indoctrination.
Manufactured consent.
That's exactly what it is. So we feel like, oh, I'm dressing the way I want to. No, you're not. Low key, you were made to believe this is the best way to dress, or this is freedom, or this is how you can get the most attention, or whatever it is. So at the end of the day, you're actually not following yourself.
You've been shaped a specific way.
You've been shaped, exactly. That's what it is.
It's true. And the more you kind of peel back the layers of this freedom ideology of liberalism, the more you see that you're not really free at all. When you start to maximize freedom as an object in and of itself, you will either fall into a system which, as you said, kind of manufactures your consent in a specific way, or you've only freed yourself up to be subsequently enslaved by your base desires.
And by consumerism. Like
which is base desires.
Yeah, if you think about it, they want to make you a consumer. Yeah. So when you're like, oh, I can finally drink and smoke and go to clubs and do all these things, well, what are you doing? You're putting more money in their pockets. It's like all built on that.
Yeah. When you fully indulge in your own desires, this is like your lizard brain. You become less than human.
We're seeing
I mean, like this deen really makes you feel like a human being.
The consciousness comes back.
You feel like, I don't know if people speak about this enough, but Islam, the ideology of it, makes you feel like a human being.
Shaitan wants to make us animals.
Yeah.
Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants to raise us above that.
Yeah.
And that's just what we choose. You've seen people on leash. You've seen those guys on a leash.
Oh my God. I can't believe you brought that here.
You seen those ones?
I've seen that.
Yeah, a'udhu billah, bro. It's like, I mean.